What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This vehicle has been shaking up the truck world since 2021 when it was introduced. And of course, we're talking about the Ford Maverick. This 2025 Ford Maverick XLT has some serious updates both on the exterior as well as on the interior. And we have the brand new combination, which is the all-wheel drive with the hybrid package. And today, I'm going to take in a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out, of course, from the exterior, interior, technology, powertrain capacities, and the test drives. If you enjoy watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that like and subscribe button, and now let's get back to this. For those of you who grew up in 60s and 70s, you might remember a Maverick as a nameplate for a car, not a pickup truck, not a truck at all. And in 2021, Ford kind of surprised everybody and introduced the Maverick as a compact pickup truck. And since it's then it started making strides in the pickup world because this little thing is very capable for what it is, for the class of the vehicle that it sits in. So you might not need a Ranger, you might not need an F-150 if all you need fits within the capacities of this little truck. Let's take a look at some changes for 2025 model year. And you can see those at the first look. You can see that the front fascia has been changed. We have the new light setup, and they're all LEDs right now, including on the base XL. Now, this particular one is an XLT, and this is a step above the XL. Now, we have a couple of new trims. We're going to talk about it in a bit. I also have the incandescent turn signals, the large grille with the Ford logo at the bottom of this vehicle is finished with the pretty cool touches. Some of this is the carbonized gray, and some of this is the regular matte black cladding. I'm not sure if you can see that because the colors kind of blend together. But the biggest thing is what's underneath the hood. Let's take a look at the base engine option. And if you know anything about cars, you know that orange means hybrid. So the base engine is a 2.5-liter hybrid engine, four-cylinder, produces 191 horsepower, about 151 pound-feet of torque, made it to an electronic CVT transmission. For the first time ever, the Maverick is available all-wheel drive with the hybrid system, and this is what I have for you today. Now, there's also another engine option, which is more powerful with 250 horsepower. That's a 2-liter turbocharged engine. That's an optional one, but you won't get such a good gas mileage as you will with this one. Now, this is an all-wheel drive. We get up to 40 miles per gallon. If it was a front-wheel drive, you get up to 42 miles per gallon. The engine looks like a hot mess, I'm not going to lie. And underneath the hood, we don't have any sound insulation, and it's still propped up by this ugly prop stick. But we're going to check out the quietness and the quality of the ride at the end of this video. And a pretty good looking truck. I know some people don't like to call it a truck because it is a unibody construction versus body on frame like most of the pickup trucks. I'm still going to call it a pickup truck. That's what Ford refers to it as well. Now, as far as the size of it, we have 200 inches total length, 67 to 69 depending on the trim is the height of it, about 74 is the width. So it's a decent size vehicle. And it is a crew cab, the only configuration that you can get with it. Technically, 5 people can sit inside the cabin. We're definitely going to check out the comfort in the back and front seats to see if that's true. As far as the wheel and tires, this is an XLT trim, and that still has 17-inch wheels. However, they've been upgraded to aluminum versus the steelies on the regular XL trim. And at the bottom, we have some black cladding to protect the vehicle from scratches, rock chips, stuff like this. Also black handles, and the surrounding of the windows is black as well. We have the blind spot assist inside of the mirror, and if you pay attention to this, you have the ability to lock it or unlock this vehicle as long as the key is somewhere on you. And you also have the keyhole for the emergency key. Here's your gas tank on the driver's side. Again, 40 miles per gallon is pretty impressive. I think 13.1 is the capacity of the gas tank. And here's the back of it. We have the lights, which are not LEDs. These are just the regular incandescent ones. And 4.5-foot bed. Like I mentioned before, total cargo capacity is 1,500 pounds. Depending on who and what you have inside the cabin, you can deduct that and put the rest of it in the bed. And this is the flex bed. You can scan this QR code and see what you can do with it. You have a bunch of tie downs, hooks in it. So again, a pretty cool system. Now, big Ford logo, rear view camera, Maverick, and yes, we have a tow hitch. Now, standard towing capacity is 2,000 pounds. If you get the optional towing package, it can tow up to 4,000 pounds, which maybe is not as much as the Ranger or the F-150, of course, but it's good enough for, a couple jet skis, maybe a smaller fishing boat, bikes, that type of stuff. No issues at all. Let's take a look and see what we have in the passenger compartment. Now let's check it out, starting with this rear door panel. I gotta tell you, it looks pretty good. Although this is all hard plastic materials, with the exception of the armrest, it still looks pretty cool. We have some light gray, we have some blue, so it's more interesting than just regular, boring black and gray. Now the seats are fabric seats. Again, they're two colors. We have some contrast stitching in this blue color, and right here in the middle, you have the console with the cup holders, sitting for 3 technically, and all you have in the back is the 2 USB Type-C ports. Let's see if there are any vents underneath. They look like there's small vents underneath all the way in front of the seat. The cabin's small enough to make everybody comfortable. Well, I'm not sure. We'd have to have some people in the back to confirm that. We have some speakers right here in the back, illumination up on top, and that's what's going on. Let's see if I can fit right here in the back seat. And let's check this out. I adjusted this front seat to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, 5'11 and a half to be exact. And let's see if I can fit in here. Okay. Well, as you can see, my knees, even in these indents, are still resting at the back of the seats. The seats are upright. There's no way of adjusting them, reclining them. So for 3 larger adults, it would be quite tight. For, the regular sized people, I guess would be okay. So let's listen to the sound of the closing door from the outside. Pretty good. Not bad. I'm going to check it out from the inside as well. The front door panel, in addition to what we've seen in the rear, has the window mirror lock controls, more storage at the bottom of it, and some speakers. Now we have the manual adjustments of both driver and passenger seats. Now the seats, I gotta tell you, I have to drive it for a little bit longer, but they weren't super comfy when I was driving it for the short period of time right here in this parking lot. I like the colors of it, and I like the materials, and the quality of it seems pretty good, but they weren't just very comfortable. Maybe it's just my body style, right? Okay, so what do we have here? We have the ability to turn on the light right here in the bed. This is where you open your gas tank, light controls, and the dimmer switches. Nothing else that's crazy in here. We have the tilt telescoping steering wheel. Let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of it. And of course, let's listen to the sound of the closing door from the inside. Boom. It's actually pretty good, better than from the outside, in my opinion. All right, so what do we have? First of all, starting up on top, we have all the hard touch materials. And there's a little cubby right here that you can put stuff in. But if you're in Florida, I actually suggest not to put anything in it. It's going to melt. I like the coloring of it, the light gray, black, and dark gray. Now I have the exposed bolts that you can see through here. Big screen, 13.2-inch screen. Let's get this vehicle a start. Here's the start-stop button. All right, and we don't hear the engine turnover because it's a hybrid. So it says vehicle is on. We have the fully digital instrument cluster. Now the combustion engine just kicked in because it didn't have enough power on the battery to run the AC, I believe. And let's see what's going on. First of all, with the steering wheel, Ford logo on the left-hand side. We have the cruise control, adaptive cruise control, volume control, and mute button. On the right-hand side, we have the seek, track phone, pick up, hang up, different modes, okay, and the menu button. That's what we have right here. Okay, we have okay to see dismiss whatever message there was that I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Thank you very much for reminding me. This is the main screen. So you have the speed, the direction you're going to, gear indicator, temperature, 95 degrees outside. All of this is crazy. And we have a menu. So we have the My View, trip economy, towing status information, vehicle maintenance, audio, and settings. We also have different drive modes that you can switch right on the steering wheel and see what they are. Normal, we have sport, tow, and haul. And to see the other ones, I have to go a couple back. That's eco and slippery. So these are your driving modes. And this is what's going on in your instrument cluster. Moving on to the infotainment system, 13.2 inches. This has been updated from last year. Home screen, you push this button, that's going to take you to this main home screen. Settings, features, apps. You can add the phone. Let's take a look and see what the settings are. Radio, add phone, sound, vehicle, clock, connectivity. Take a look. All right, connected vehicle features, wireless app projections. So you can turn this on, of course. Yeah, there you go. I was just impatient. Okay, so here's your network for that if you'd like to. You can, of course, set up your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. This part of the screen does have some shortcuts on it. So this was for phone, radio, fuel economy, and trip 1, trip 2, depending on what you want to see, and back to phone. So we can go to another screen, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, Ford Assistant, 911 Assist. A lot of features in this Maverick. Now let's put it in reverse. Let's see how the camera looks. Actually looks pretty good. Now we have the towing camera, so you can see if you want to hook up a trailer. That's going to be easy to do with this view and just a regular view with the active trajectory lines. Let's move it over to park. At the bottom of the screen, you have some shortcuts for your climate control. This is a single zone climate control, and this is the only climate control you have. You don't have any vents or controls in the back. Down here, you have a pretty decent size vents. They blow really nice and cold air right now. Volume and power knob right here. Here's your seek track. And turn off the screen, I believe. Just go to minimize it. Hazard lights, max front window defroster, and this will go back to the safety feature of the vehicle. I think I have to turn it on. No, it just turns all of them on. Okay, so engine start stop button, USB Type-C, USB Type-A, bunch of little cubby storage for your phone. No wireless charging on this model, or not with this package at least. Here's your rotary dial shifter, parking brake, cup holders. Okay, we can turn off the traction control off. There's a card slot right here. From what I read, this is for the hybrid membership club. Not sure what that is, but I guess you can put any type of card in here and it'll fit. Okay, and we have a storage in the console, pretty deep for the size of the vehicle. In addition, of course, the regular size glove box. Up on top, regular mirror, sunglasses holder, light controls, mirrors that are not illuminated. So for those of you that like to check makeup at night, you might want to have your flashlight with you. Now, this is the interior of this 2025 Ford Maverick XLT. Let's talk about pricing. Take it for a spin. When the Maverick was introduced in 2021, it was advertised as $24,000 pickup truck, and that it was with the base XL trim. However, it didn't have the standard features that it has right now. And throughout the years, Ford decided, hey, a lot of people are adding this and this and that equipment, so they added more standard features, but raised a price up substantially. Now, the base XL starts at $29,840, XLT $32,340, a Lobo standard $37,625. Lobo is a new trim. That's the performance-oriented one. Lariat $40,135, and then we have a new trim as well. Tremor $42,690. A Lobo High, which is the top of the line trim, as $43,120. So anywhere from $30,000 to about $42,000. That's your price range on the Maverick. Is that a lot? Sure. Now, in comparison to other vehicles in its class, it's still fairly competitive, and I think it presents a lot of value, especially when you're looking at the payload and the towing capacity. So it is still technically a pickup truck for some people. Now, if you own a construction business, you need to haul a lot of big, bulky stuff. And the bed, of course, that 4.5 bed is not going to be big enough for you. However, if you are looking to buy something that you can do a Home Depot run once in a while, or maybe go to your camping, have some dirt bikes that you want to throw in the back, you can definitely do that with the Maverick here, and you get the good gas mileage too. Now, how does it turn? We have the parking spots that are painted right here, and let's see how many of those does it take to flip it completely around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3/4. It's about 4 3/4 parking space to turn this vehicle completely around. Let's take it for a quick spin, and let's see what we have as far as the acceleration, cornering, braking, and the overall feel of this compact pickup truck. Now, some people put it in a mid-size pickup truck category. When I think on the mid-size pickup trucks, I think of the Ranger, Tacoma, Colorado. So vehicles that are slightly bigger. They're also body-on-frame constructions. There might not be a lot more capable, but they're more trucky, if you will. And this is the advantage of the Maverick as far as the ride quality. It's going to feel more like a car. So because of its unit body construction, it's not as rigid, it's not as tough as the bigger ones, but for the everyday driving, that's really all you need. Now, on paper, 0 to 60 is about 6.7 seconds with a hybrid system. We have 0. We're just going to do a quick acceleration here. Actually feels pretty peppy. 30, 40, 50. That's enough. To merge in traffic, that's quick enough. And if you're buying a pickup truck like this, maybe if you get that Lobo, you can get it in 5 seconds. That's going to be actually pretty quick if you like that. But to get the top gas mileage, and this is an all-wheel drive minded, so they have an all-wheel drive, a little bit heavier than the front-wheel drive, about 40 miles to gallon. It's pretty impressive. The cabin's pretty quiet while driving it. Don't hear any excessive noises. As you can see, I have tons of room. Now I moved the seat back a little bit. Filming, this would be my regular driving position. Feels comfortable. The seats didn't feel as good when I first got into this vehicle, but they're not bad at all when driving it. All right, let's do a rolling acceleration, see if we can keep up with this traffic. I like it. And we got, from 5 or 6 miles per hour to about 50, 51. Keep up with traffic, no issues. And that's why I test out the acceleration on the vehicles like this, not to see how fast I can go from light to light or if I can beat the vehicle right next to me, but if I can safely and securely merge in traffic without causing any commotion on the road, without causing people to brake or me pulling off to the side for not being rear-ended. So that's the acceleration part of it. Gas mileage is great. I wish I could take it on maybe a longer test drive to see what the real life gas mileage is, and if you load it up, how much that does affect the gas mileage on it. But overall, a good looking vehicle. I think it drives good. It's nice and quiet cabin, good visibility, decent payload. If you're looking for a truck, definitely check this out. You might be pleasantly surprised. And let me know, guys, what do you think about this 2025 Ford Maverick XLT? Is this the right trim, or would you go for a less or more equipped one, and why? Welcome all the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more automotive content, consider hitting that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.